Hey everyone. Just finished another project. Finished this lot off yesterday. It's Friday down here, down into Tasmania, at the other end of the world. I know most of my most of my viewers are in the Northern Hemisphere, mostly in the UK, but some in other places as well, obviously. So, hello. Greetings from Tasmania. Here we are with a host of Bloody Miniatures. This is 28mm all metal English Civil War character miniatures, produced by Richard over at Bloody Miniatures. I guess it's called Bloody Miniatures because he goes by and has for years on the Lead Adventure forum. He goes by the tag name of Captain Blood. So yeah, these are very, very cool miniatures. As those who've been watching along for a while will know that I've painted some of these before, and they're great fun, great characters for like English Civil War era skirmish. Now, most of these guys, or skirmish, or adding to your larger armies, I suppose. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, most of these are Scots dudes, Covenanters. So you'll see quite a bit of the blue in them. But directly in front, we've got some dismounted cuirassiers in blackened armor. Now the light is going to be, I've got my bright desk lamps pointing directly towards them, so it probably makes the armor seem a lot shinier than it actually is when you're in the hand. That they're actually quite dark, indeed. Oh, he's downed him. Quick, get up. So we'll do a little twirl about of them. So he asked for this kind of colour of sash or scarf or whatever the term is. This sort of oranges, reds, that kind of thing. Yeah, the blackened armour effect, just to help me remember as well, was done using some black ink over my usual light grey undercoat. So I didn't start out with metallic paint. I started out with black ink mixed with that Express, Vallejo Express medium to make it flow better. So yeah, I put that on first, and then later I went over it again with like a blue-black wash, an old one that I had that I don't think you get anymore, but there's probably similar things out there on the market. Yeah, it was a blue-black wash from Secret Weapon, and then pretty much like afterwards I just sort of touched up some of the edges with a soft drawing pencil, like a 6B or something like that. Any of the B pencils would probably be all right, just for so that it's not. I didn't actually. Yeah, some of the other ones you could use like a really dark metallic paint. Like I think on some of the other helmets, I actually didn't do pencil. I used I think it's called black metal from Scale 75, which is a really dark metallic thing, just to dink sort of little bits on sort of edges and rivet bits or something. Anyway, so the blackened armor bit, like I say, in real life they're not as shiny as perhaps because they've got strong light on them at the moment. So they actually are quite dark. So I was pretty pleased with the effect, actually. Yeah, pretty happy with those. So there was a group of 4 of those. I'll put them up to the back. Now, I might not have all these groups right. I might have gone some mixed up because some, a lot of them come in packs. So there's all these guys. These are Scots guys with pole arms of various descriptions, pole axes, things. Now, some of the Scottish dudes have got some sort of plaid or check or, tartany kind of get up on over their shoulders. So some of it's quite subtle, so some of it's a bit bolder. I'll give them a bit of a twirl around. So yeah, I've been experimenting a bit lately with got hold of some of the Express colour from Vallejo. Just a few of the colours to try out. Been pretty pleased with them actually. It's not something I normally go in for, but I do use inks and stuff, and there's not a huge amount of difference, or a paint with a medium in it or something like that. Yeah, so there's actually, I don't know how well the camera's showing up, but there's a couple of blues, different blues used on the, where you see sort of a number of the Scottish guys have got like blue jackets or trousers. That's a different blue than what I've used on the caps. Now for the trousers, I used this, the trousers and jackets and that, I used this anthracite grey. So technically it's a grey, but it's a very blue grey. It's anthracite grey from scale 75 as the base, and then just sort of lightened it up with deck tan or something similar to that to get a lighter effect. But the caps, the Bonnie blue hats, they're done with this here triad from Reaper, Brion blue, Templar blue, and Ashen blue. And so that's how I did their blue hats over a dark blue sort of base, like a wash. I think I put on a wash, really dark wash first. Yeah, so that's how I got the. So that actually is brighter than the anthracite blue. So there's a slight difference between. It's not the same blue. You might better pick it up. This is more of a grey blue, and that's a bit brighter. Yeah, but some of the buffskin jackets and things are done with different inks, and some of the Express colours, and then with other washes and shading applied, and then a bit of highlighting on some of them, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a mixture of paint and regular paint and other effects, for sure. So yeah, pretty pleased with how these guys turn out. Well, how all of them turn out really. Took me a while, all little individual characters. I guess the only uniformity is with some of the Scottish guys with the blues and things, but apart from that, everyone's quite different. So, oh yeah, and with all the Scottish dudes, I put a little piece of like a heathery type of tuft. I think it's from Leadbear's tuft. It's called heather purple, these little tufts. So just to make them distinctive from those cuirassiers. They've all had, and I put varnish on the tufts as well, because they do tend to, they can flake a bit, these little flowery doohickeys. So hopefully they don't come off in too much of a hurry. This guy here, he's probably one of my favourites actually. These, yeah, really like this dude here. With these sort of reddy orange pants there. I like the colour combos, and how his face turned out. It's really nice sculpting on these miniatures. So they've got patches on them, some of them, which look quite cool. Nice little touches. The bags and the powder charges, things for the musket. Yeah, nice details, nice miniatures. There's a couple of figures actually with barrels, one under his arm and one on his shoulder. So yeah, he's got a bit of plaid on. So I've gone for a mixture of different buff coats, some light and some darker in between. Same with the leathers, I sort of mix it up a bit. So he's just got a simple plaid. Yeah, now, what else we got back here? There we go. There. So, guy with a couple of swords there. Now, are we focusing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's got a bit of plaid over there. Yeah, nice to paint, you know, plenty of raised surfaces and creases and things that pick out the shading nicely. Here's another guy with a barrel under his arm, up to some mischief. The odd redhead and blondie mixed in. I quite like this one. Is probably another one of my favourites. This guy, nice face. Came out pretty well, and nice sort of colour combos with the contrast, a bit of red showing and the blues and the light coloured buff jacket. Yeah, good fun. And then there's this chappy here. Now a bit of a swish game with the big plate over his shoulders. Yeah. They're very cool miniatures. They are. Those who already own some, you know, you'll know how cool they are. And if you're into English Civil War at this scale, or thinking of just painting some for fun, yeah, they're really worth a go, that's for sure. Oh, this one was a sort of a stray one. This is a single, sort of on his own, of some sort of cavalryman. Yeah, nice figure. Got his helmet raised in the air. Again with that sort of blackened effect done with mostly just inks and washes, with a little bit of, tiny bit of that black metal just on the crest and on some of the rivets, just you know, a real careful touch. And his cuirass under there, you know, that's mostly all just black and blue inks and things like that, and with again a teeny little bit of that metal just on the edgy bits where it might rub or something. Yeah, another cool miniature. And I'll show you these two last of all. So you got these two characters. This guy with his big coat. I got that kind of almost like a purpley but grey kind of colour. They did that using, there's a colour here, Scar 75 colour called petroleum grey, and that's the base for getting that jacket he's got. And I've got the anthracite blue colour on the cuffs and on his other garments underneath, and then they've been lightened up with an ivory or a deck tan or something like that. So yeah, pleased with that. And this was one of my favourites as well. It did a bit more work on his tartan, his plaid. He's a bit of a leader type with his long green coat, sorry, and his trews, and yeah, this nice plaid over his shoulder with the silvery brooch, and then he's got these feathers with another brooch on his blue cap. A wild red-headed Scotsman. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, I like him too. He's a cool character. Yeah, they'll be as usual. I've taken some stills. I haven't put them on the computer yet to see how they turned out. So hopefully they'll be all right. Yeah, and I'll stick them on the end. And hopefully you guys will enjoy having a look at them. Yeah, and probably just there's been a lot of curious videos lately, well, a few about sort of I don't know about controversial subjects, but there's been a lot of thoughts about different things. People have been talking about the ads and things, and I don't know, about people's motivations for stuff and what. I don't know. I don't really fit into any of those holes, really. A square peg in a round hole, really. I mean, I'm geographically isolated from you, majority of people who watch my videos, and you know, I'm a bit different as well. Like, yes, I'm a commission painter, but I actually take a lot of enjoyment from what I do. It's not a drudge. Yeah, like anything, it can be hard work sometimes, but it's the same with even if you're doing like your own project, there can be bits where you get a bit stuck and you have to go away and do something else. But and you know, I'm not doing a lot of my own stuff, but a lot of that has to do with depression and things like that, other stuff that I battle. And but I take a lot of joy and pleasure in painting miniatures for other people. But I don't create, my channel isn't like a mercenary kind of thing. And if there are ads on it, well, I apologize for that. I didn't I don't get a choice about that. I don't have the number of subscribers or the number of views to get it to a point where I get to say whether I have ads or not. If YouTube sticks them on there, there's nothing I can do about it. I personally can't stand ads, and I have a browser that basically, you know, they kind of, I don't know how it works, but it kind of, the screen grays out when ads come up. It's almost like it's playing, but I don't have to see it or hear it, because it does drive me a bit batty. And yeah, I don't really, yeah, and I resist fitting into people's categories of, like, because I've heard a number of different videos lately, and even some guy suggesting that if you're a commission painter, you can't enjoy the hobby. And this, man, I know a lot of commission painters, most of whom, you know, some are in Australia and New Zealand, most are in the UK, and all of them paint for a hobby as well. If you've got any doubts about that, go and listen to the Ken from Yorkshire Gamer did a video interview recently with a guy who's a commission painter, and the guy is a prolific painter for other people, but he loves painting stuff for himself as well. And majority, all the commission painters I know are the same. And some guy suggested on another video that, you know, doing your hobby for a job somehow robs the joy out of it or something like that. Well, no, not for me. I refuse to fit that category. I'm not having it. You know, I am a bit different. I have autism. You know, I was diagnosed about 10 years ago. I suffer from suffered a breakdown many years ago, and I'm diagnosed with depression and anxiety and stuff like that. So I refuse to fit into people's categories and boxes they want to put me into, you know. And I don't have tons of subscribers, and I don't, you know, but I love sharing what I do because it brings me joy. It helps keep me sane, and I like being able to paint things for other people and make them happy. And I enjoy just the pleasure of painting as well, and I go mad collecting way more paints than I could possibly use, and that's part of the pleasure for me as well. I don't get to game very much. I'm more of a painter, but there's a few of us out there on YouTube that are like that. And so, yeah, I get a bit aggrieved when I feel like people are trying to shove you in a box or a hole, or, you know. So I'll refuse it. I'm not having it. I am very different, and I won't go in your box. There, that's my rant. So yeah, I love painting, and I love this hobby, and I'm thankful that I can make a few quid off it. I don't pretend to make a living, like a living wage, but I do make some money that helps my family keep their head above water, and that is a blessing. So yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff that's been going on recently. I'm not going to make any comment about this. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's got a story, and some of the things, I've got my story. Everyone else has got a different story, and there's reasons why people do and say things that they do, and sometimes it's hard for us to understand someone else's perspective when we live life a certain way and have done for a long time. It is difficult, but somehow we've got to all find a way to get along and respect each other. So, all right, guys. I don't know if I let that back end bit out or not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the miniatures. They're so cool, these bloody miniatures. They really are very cool. They're great fun. So I think I'm going to do. I've got a box of more Dark Age goodies to do, so I'll probably go back to doing that, I dare say. Which I know a lot of people stick with me because they love seeing the Dark Age stuff. So, but other people are here for different reasons. So, some because they're like me, they love the painting side of the hobby, and yeah, it's all good. All right, guys, look after yourselves, stay special, and all the best. And hopefully there'll be another one when I've got something to show and finish something, or who knows what. See you later. Bye.